I feel like a slice of butter melting on top of a big old pile of flapjacks.
Play the victim and you will be the victim.
Very good, Frank. Very impressive. Ultimate punch!
What's up? What's up?
Oh! You hit the soft part of my belly.
You just got killed by a Daewoo Lanos, motherfucker! How you like me now, huh? You are, because if the girl said no, then the answer obviously is no.
No.
But the thing is she's not gonna say no. She would never say no because of the implication.
Ask yourself, why has he got his hat pulled down like that? He's fuck ugly.
Frenches instead. Oh, yeah.
Wow. I don't like this.
Power of Christ compels you!
Oh, does it? Does it compel me?
You look pretty.
What did you say?
I said you look shitty.
I offer you a nice egg in this trying time? Yeah, he's got an egg, you might...
Oh, yes, we are live. It is 7:37 in the morning. I'm sorry, but sometimes you just gotta say shit. If no one pops in, that's fine, because I'm gonna say my piece. All right. If you're unaware of what's been going on since September of last year, which is crazy, right? September of last year is how long this, and not because I've propped it up or kept it going or anything, but this quote unquote drama, because it's not drama. It's just targeted harassment and bigotry and bullying is what it is, because it's not drama. It needs to be talked about because now people that I care about, friends of mine, are getting, well, not really dragged through the mud because the guy saying all this shit does not look good. He's been told multiple times by multiple people that he's wrong. He's been pretty much chased out of the GI Joe community by people that work or have worked on or created GI Joe. So that'll tell you everything you need to know about this guy. And this guy's name is CHUD. And Chad, I'm gonna try to remain as civil and cordial as possible with the way that I speak in this, because I feel like it's more effective to not get angry and to more so like just talk and speak from facts and the actual truth of the matter, which is Chad is a bigot. He has said racist things, he has said transphobic things, he has said homophobic things. And in this community, in the nerd culture, we don't stand for that crap. That has never been part of nerd culture. Bullying others, targeting others for differences, all that stuff has never, ever been a part of the nerd community. As much as these guys want to think it is or want to make it so, G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Marvel, Power Rangers, all of this stuff is not meant for right-wing, ultra alt-right chuds. It's not. And this is not me saying, oh, if you're conservative, you're awful, because not every conservative holds the social views that MAGA does. And let's be clear here. If you discriminate against anybody openly for their differences, you are on the wrong side of things. If you support ICE, regardless of whether your partner or whoever is in law enforcement, if you support ICE, you are on the wrong side of history. If you go around saying that people have Trump derangement syndrome, that is actually more attributed to you and your psychosis, your mental illness, because you can look past all these horrible things this guy has done as long as it quote unquote owns the libs. Gas prices at an all-time high. Human rights at an all-time low. people getting kidnapped from their families, people getting ended on the streets just for being in the wrong place at the wrong time, or protesting, which is your right as an American citizen. And for someone who has a platform to go ahead and make a video, you know what? Why not bring this? Why not bring this shit up? Because I feel like it's better to just show rather than tell in some cases. Not that I want to give this guy any clicks or any views or anything like that. Let's see here. It's CHUD. Sorry, I have to say. Oops. What is happening? It's Chad. Sorry, I say CHUD, but his channel is actually It's Chad, but I think CHUD is a more fitting name. All right, so let's go to this guy's shitty page. It is shitty. This guy has no semblance of the ability to make content other than streaming a video game and causing drama and complaining about G.I. Joe, which he supposedly loves. But the G.I. Joe community does not love this guy. All right, let's see. Ugh, I don't want to bring this fucker up. Can y'all hear that? I say y'all, but there's no one here right now, which is fine. I'm just trying to bring this up. Turn off the fucking volume so I don't have to hear this clown. Close captions. All right. Give me a second here. All right, so this man-child, right? This man-child. What is up, Matt with 2 T's? He's mad. Well, the main thing that got him mad, at least as far as him posting about it, was these pictures right here. Someone using Barbies to protest the injustices happening. And this triggered this full-grown 51-year-old man, right? This triggered him enough to make a video about it saying, that's that bullshit. Let's keep politics out of our hobbies. All the while framing this as a let's keep politics out while openly speaking about his politics. Now, doesn't that seem a little hypocritical? Doesn't that seem a little unbelievable to point something out? Yeah, I don't want to see his face. Let's a little flavor saver. So he's really just talking shit about people protesting. And you know, last I checked, that's all right. Weren't you in the military, Chud? Didn't you serve this country? I'm not sure you did a very good job based on your views, based on how you feel about Renee Good and Alex Preddy and Keith Roberts Jr. and the million, or not million, but the hundreds who have died in containment from ICE. You know, where's their rights? Where's their due process? Where's the Constitution for them? But you don't care about that, right? You just care about being right. And then this guy, this fucking guy. So this was the start of the online, him posting things and talking about it, right? So he's just been on a bender ever since then, and losing subscribers, losing friends, losing people that he supposedly appreciates their opinion, right? Or values what they've contributed. So here is a message from Chad to someone who worked on G.I. Joe. Your bias and rabid TDS are the reason a lot of Joe lifelong fans dunk on you and Hama, Larry Hama, the most important fundamental creator of G.I. Joe, right? Nobody gives a shit about your politics. Just make good stories and art and shut up. This guy who has no artistic ability, not a creative bone in his body, is telling creators of G.I. Joe, comic book writers, comic book artists, to shut up about their politics. Just keep your mouth shut and draw. You know, what was that thing that they said on Fox News? Shut your mouth and dribble about these NBA players, right? It's the same fucking thing. How dare you use your platform to speak out when only I can do that? It's baffling. So, he's talking, we don't shove our poor pissant consumer politics down your throats. It should be the same toward us as the people who made you names in these spaces we maintain and spend money on. Nobody wants to hear it, sir. What's going on, Joe? And the only response, oops, let me go back. That's my awesome picture right there. The only response, okay, so in here, and we'll get to his live stream. I haven't watched any of it, but I did see clips of it. P.S. All of this is going in one of my live streams about all you leftists who ruin our hobbies in the name of your progress and agendas. Fans are tired of it. Agendas, my guy. Agendas. What is your agenda? Other than trying to make sure that the only people that have a voice are I say straight lightly, are the straight white males who have this group thing. And the thing about these guys, and I'm not saying all white males, but like the guys in this manosphere space, in this little isolated section of idiocy, they like to think that the only person who should speak on anything is them, right? And the title of his live stream was about narcissism, essentially calling me a narcissist, calling me out for the title that I said, calling him and his buddy Lone Wolf Customs out for making fun of murdered citizens. Because I said the toy space is invaded by bad people. Because let's be honest, if you're on Facebook or whatever joking and liking posts about protesters being murdered, you're not a good person. And a protester is not like Charlie Kirk. A protester is not like Chuck Norris. It's a completely different story. So you can throw that defense out the fucking window, right? And then, so the response, and I'm not sure if this was Kurt or Bud. I'm not sure who it was that replied to this because the crop on it. But someone who's worked on G.I. Joe, right? Tell me you weren't smart enough to understand G.I. Joe without saying you weren't smart enough to understand G.I. Joe. Completely fucking bodied. Completely bodied. You can't come back from that. One of the creators is telling you don't understand it. But God forbid you admit you're wrong, right? God forbid you take a moment of reflection and think about what you're being told and what is being pointed out to you, that you fundamentally don't understand G.I. Joe. Now, I know you've got this little, I served in the military, so I'm super manly, and I did all. I know G.I. Joe is an important thing for you, right? It's probably one of the reasons you enlisted. You wanted to feel cool, right? But the people that fucking created G.I. Joe are telling you suck. So maybe you missed the point there. And we've got more, folks. We've got more. So r/action figures. I made a post calling out a couple of different people, Chad being one of them. And I posted the comments that he made about Alex Preddy and Renee Good, or rather the lack of comments, the lack of accountability for what he said, right? Because I'll be held accountable for what I say. Am I going to apologize for everything that I say? No. But I can say, hey, I understand what I said upset some people in the way that I said it, but here's why I said it, and here's why I still stand by it. Because I don't back down from my morals, because I actually have morals. I actually care about people. I don't care about MAGA. I don't care about fascists. I care about people. This guy cares about being right. That is the only thing he cares about. There's a reason why grinder servers go dark and during the week of CPAC. I served in the military too, but wrong is wrong. Absolutely. And you would think that the self-discipline that you learn in the military is enough to maybe keep your mouth shut when you're getting called out for being a fucking idiot. Because you are an idiot, Chad. You are one of the dumbest people I've ever seen try to formulate an argument. Oh, well, it's dumb. That's why. It's dumb. I don't know if I can pick up the sound on StreamYard. I'm not sure how to do exactly that. But I'm not going to click his live stream and watch it. I have not watched any of that shit other than the clips that Tats and Toys posted. And it's really funny, right? Because all of this other stuff that he's using to attack other people, it started because he's obsessed with me. And let's not get it twisted. It is a fucking obsession. Because ever since September, you've been on this little fucking what's the word? Quest, mission, whatever, to try and destroy what I've built, the channel that I have, the friends that I've made. And I guess I can take this off now. My hair's dry. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work because unlike you, I didn't build my channel on controversy. I didn't build it on drama. I didn't build it on calling people out and hating people for their differences. I like I said, if you're a conservative, that doesn't mean I hate you. That doesn't mean I hold anything against you. If you're MAGA, that's a completely different story. And this guy claims to not support Trump or voted for Trump. That's whatever. But if you support the agenda and policies, it is just as bad as voting for it. It is just as bad as signing your name under every single action that Trump does. And Trump is bad. Everything that he has done for this country is bad. There is not a single good thing that he has done for this country in the 5 years that he has been in office. Should be in prison. Should be. But that's beside the point. We're talking about one piece of shit right now. So I posted that about Chad, and it's really funny. Bunch of positive upvotes, bunch of engagement and all that stuff. No one defending his behavior. No one saying, oh, well, maybe. No, everyone's saying, fuck this guy. Thank you for pointing this out. I'm glad I don't know this guy, and I'll continue to keep it that way. Also making fun of his flavor saver. So I'm not the only one who thinks that a outdated facial hair, little tuft of hair from what, the 70s or something. I can't remember the last time. The only person I've ever seen pull off a soul patch is not a real person. It's Marcus Phoenix from Gears of War. I wouldn't fuck with that guy. Anybody else with a soul patch, I would think they'd probably get pantsed in middle school. Just saying. But appearance is beside the point. But you know, this is the guy that's been misgendering me, calling people in drag nightmare fuel, trans people nightmare fuel, all while being super excited to go look and find some at cons, whether it's to be make fun of or add to the spank bank. I don't know. He's so edgy and different, guys. You can't hold him down with your stupid social rules. Rules, who freaking needs them, right? And that's exactly how this feels. So from a minute-long video, these people read Chad for the filth that he was, and rightfully said, "Oh, I'm done with this shit. I don't need to see this." And then we have this guy. I don't care for this on an action figure sub. This seems like one of Chad's people in disguise. Mods can this post be removed? There are children here. Why are there children on Reddit? Why should there be? I don't think kids should be on Reddit. -25 on Reddit. So essentially the whole post was just people saying, yeah, fuck this guy. I don't know him, but based on what you just showed me, this is someone I don't want to know. And you don't want to know Chad. If you associate with Chad at this point, you are letting his toxicity, his hatred represent yourself as well. If you were in his fucking little circle jerk live streams, because I know the one that the members only that he made that day is deleted. I can only imagine the disgusting things that were said or shown in a different context than the delivery in that members only thread. But it's deleted. It's gone. So unless people clip that shit, we'll never know. I'm not going to watch his regular fucking live stream because it's infuriating. Not only is the guy hard to look at, he's even harder to fucking listen to. All right, let's see what else. All right, Project Recall. So this is a collection of G.I. Joe people from the industry who've worked on it, who are fans, collectively bringing out their own toy line to represent and emulate G.I. Joe, right? So this is the main guy who's in charge of it. I forget his name. Let me see if I can find it. I forget his name. But the point still stands. Chad was talking about leaving politics out of shit, right? And this is the head of Project Recall, Chad the Chudhole, an Army veteran and toy tuber, just fired the opening shot in what I'm sure will be an ongoing Operation Recall smear campaign. Why? Because he didn't like me sharing him and Bobby Vance's. Bobby Vance is Lone Wolf Customs, the guy that was, and I'll bring those pictures up as well. Because I haven't really talked about this at length. I've alluded to it. I've posted little clips and little videos, but I haven't fully talked. And we'll get to why I'm actually addressing it now. But I'm trying to remain on point with my points and receipts, quote unquote receipts. People love that word. I love that word, receipts. Danny and Tessa, good morning. Hope the babies are doing well. Hope y'all are doing well. Every accusation and confession with these maggots, facts don't matter. They reason with their guts, not even their guts. It's with their fucking, I don't know. Not their brains. They're rarely opening to listening to other points of view. Zero empathy. Yeah. And that's the thing. Empathy goes a long fucking way. I don't want empathy from these people though. I don't want their understanding, and I sure as fuck don't need their validation. A bunch of incels making fun of a trans person on a live stream is pretty sad to me. It's not upsetting. It's not triggering. It's just fucking sad. It's just sad. Why? Because he didn't like me sharing him and Bobby Vance's amoral behavior related to the murder of Alex Purdy and Renee Good. Yes, the veteran that fought for our freedom is now dogpiling on Americans that are being gunned down in the streets. And he was and continues to do so. This is the same guy that makes YouTube videos deploring people that bring political beliefs into the toy space. That's that shit. The video I showed y'all first. See, I've got the context. I've got the flow. Let's be clear. This is my personal page. If you don't like my personal political views, that's totally fine. Keep scrolling or engage in respectful and informed debate. Chad can do neither of those things. He can neither engage in a normal debate, let alone a respectful one, or just fucking move on. Because it's all he has. I'm sure he barely ever sees his partner based on how much he streams and how long he streams and what her job is. So what else are you going to do? You're going to get mad on the internet and circle jerk with your buddies and play blue waffle, right? Well, metaphorical blue waffle. I'll continue to voice my opinions, especially when it comes to blatant federal overreach and erosion of our constitutional rights. But Operation Recall is the culmination of years of work from 15 plus people from all over the political spectrum, from Kirk Bozigan on the right to Ron A. Rudin on the left. And I'm pretty sure Chad was even talking shit about Kirk Bozigan. I'm pretty sure he was just talking shit about anybody involved with it. You know? Just because they called him out. No introspection, no self-reflection. Pile on with more hateful memes for the slain trash bro. You can be a better person. Every day is a decision. And here is the post that he liked and commented on. And it says, FAFO on full display. For the idiots in the back, please sit down and shut the fuck up. How do you think ICE is doing in Minnesota? And what that picture says is pretty and good. And then Chad, ever the guy to throw the actual context or actual problem out of his face. Which slain and what memes? The dude's own stay home shit? You posted that in ill faith. You posted it saying if he had stayed home and not protested, he wouldn't be dead. That is the context that you are refusing to let people know. Because you feel this way. And I know this because on your stream when Tats and Toys asked you outright, do you support ICE? You said yes. No other explanation, just yes. That makes you the fucking bad guy, dude. It doesn't make you some political flagpole for people to rally behind. It makes you a piece of shit. Well, there's other things that make you a piece of shit, but that's just one of them. That's just one of them. So let me go through my Instagram page, and you know, am I guilty of trying to piss this fucker off? Absolutely. I'd say that's the only thing I'm guilty of, because I know that it affects him. I know people with low self-confidence. And the man, okay, so the second people started making fun of his flavor saver, right? What does he have now? He has this Just for Men dyed goatee. His evil Spock 70s porno bush around his mouth goatee. That doesn't look any better, Chad. Maybe try a full beard. I don't know. Maybe it'll hide that weak chin and the double chins you got going on. I don't know if that's what you're trying to do. But, you know, you want to talk about me and my appearance and my transness. I have full reins to go off on how shitty you fucking look, dude. Take the hat off. What's underneath that shit? Show people. So yeah, I made this. Let me see. I made this. You know, we got Chuck Norris, we got Drewski, we got Charlie Kirk in the middle, we got the #1 Israel supporter and the OnlyFans CEO that passed away. I actually changed it later to Hulk Hogan because that's funnier, right? And then we got Chad in the back with his little makeup look on, which he loves so much. He said it didn't bother him, but we know it bothered him. We know it bothered him. And that's the whole point. You know, I'm unbothered. You, my guy, are triggered. All right, let's go find some more of these receipts while we go through my little Instagram page here. I know I have some more. And you know, he's not the only one I've gone after. And I don't go after people for saying they're Republican, for saying they're conservative. I only go after Nazis. I only go after fascists. I only go after blatantly racist people. Which we can talk about that in general, because these are all the people that support Chad. These are the people in his chats. There's this guy that was called Wolverine Snicked on Instagram. He's a seller. He sells action figures. He had straight up Nazi propaganda on his profile. And when he got called out for it, guess what? He ended up deleting his channel. Now, who was one of the people in Chad's stream in his chat the other day? Wolverine Snicked, a Nazi. What can you say? Another one of his buddies, Eddie Reyes. This first of all, a Hispanic guy voting for MAGA. Cool. Pull your head out of your ass, dude. All the way fucking out. She really said, "With your bald-headed ass." With your bald-headed ass. Post this Hispanic guy has Dave's Volt as his cover photo on Facebook. And here's the other thing, y'all. Do you understand how easy it is to find people based on two things? Their whole name and where they live. Okay? I'm just going to put that out there. If you're going to post racist shit, maybe be a little bit smarter about it. Don't have your life out there, you know? That's all I'm saying. Let me find these receipts here. Here's another one. Extreme sets, right? This is why I don't fuck with extreme sets anymore. So this guy, Skydro Walker, this guy takes photos for extreme sets. So he's an affiliate. He has, you know, a deal for them. And this guy took a picture of Trump stepping on a black police officer's head. And you know, there's more stuff like this on his page. But I messaged Extreme Sets and I was like, this is someone y'all associate with dead silence. So yes, it is. So Extreme Sets, don't buy from them. They whether or not they support the agenda, they don't say otherwise. So I've made it my personal mission in these last couple of months. Not so much before, but pretty recently after this his little triggered video of keep politics out of toys, all the while talking about his politics and saying how, you know, no one wants to see this libtard stuff. Bro, you don't even know the difference between a leftist and a liberal. Don't use those words. They're just buzzwords. And that's all this guy has as arguments is buzzwords. Psychology. Bro, you couldn't tell a psychologist from a therapist. I'm just saying. Pete Hegseth has that tattoo on his manatee. You know, Pete Hegseth was kicked out of the military for his Nazi tattoos, right? That's why he was kicked out. Well, that, and the guy's a fucking raging alcoholic. I know these receipts are down here somewhere because it's been a while. I've been silent. Because it's just been not a thing I've been worried about. But here's another one. All right. So I don't know if y'all know who Justin Credible is. He's got a YouTube channel. He's got a smaller YouTube channel, but this guy, he made a comment on one of my posts calling out some bullshit. And he said, do you support crime? My main question, though, for everyone is what actions that are legal. And I'm only doing this because Chad wanted to go through, and I'll get to the whole thing. He wanted to go through and specifically point out people liking my posts and call them out on his stream and drag other people into it that have absolutely nothing to it. But if you want to step up and say some racist shit, I feel like you are involved. You have something that you wanted to put forth. So I'll bring it forth for you, right? I'll let people know. I will boost that message for you. Pete Keg's breath. Absolutely. Okay, so just incredible. And the craziest part is this guy's a black man, and not that that matters in most contexts, but the brain worms, the defense, the excuses he makes as a black man for this administration or for the way that people are speaking out. Oh, it's going to change again, so maybe just shut up and wait. Do you support crime? My main question, though, for everyone is what actions that are legal have people really been taking to help anyone? That are legal? You mean like protesting your First Amendment rights? That's the biggest and most important legal thing that people have been doing, right? Regardless of what's wrong, what have y'all done to actually help? The last time I checked, a sign that says feed the homeless doesn't feed the homeless. The last time I checked, a sign that says shelter the homeless doesn't shelter the homeless. So who's really taking to the streets and taking actions to help people? I'm a nerd all day long, and I'm a Republican. Okay, well, cognitive dissonance there, buddy. We can't all be perfect. I don't fall for propaganda. I don't fall for propaganda. Saying, are you a Trump supporter or this, that, the third, because every 4 years that shit's going to change. So once again, other than people getting online, making useless videos, what are y'all really doing to make a change? And I responded to this fucking clown because that is one of the dumbest fucking takes I've ever heard. You're an idiot. What makes you think people protesting online aren't also doing it in person, calling their senators, helping their neighbors? What a dipwad L take. Get the hell out of my page. And after I've said this, now this is how you know they're upset. This is how you know you pushed their buttons and you made them sad. Where's, okay. Here's all his comments that he posted in 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. So in the span of 5 minutes, and there was more, he posted about 7 or 8 comments. Try using a complete sentence because I don't know what the hell. Okay, so reading comprehension. We know that's hard for them. You idiots think storming in a church and frightening kids is legal? My brother in Christ, all these right-wing people will go in and shoot up a church. I don't know what your point is. I promise you, I'm completely ignorant, and that all this shit does is fuel me. Fuel me? You mean fuel me? True Star Screamer, what's going on? You know, he's dragging other people into this shit, so I'm just going to air all the dirty laundry out. People know who's right and who's wrong, and it's not even about being right, it's about being a bad person. And you support this shit, you're a bad person. You go on and target people on a live stream just because their opinion is different than you. You're a bad person. Now, the difference between opinions and harmful opinions and bigotry is that, like I said, harm. There's harm happening. The views that they support harm people, hurt people, kill people even. So this guy. Oh yeah, and then his last comment: U.S. Navy stationed in Florida, come holler at me. I find it funny how these fucking like 40-something-year-old men, right? I'm a 35-year-old trans woman. I'm 140 pounds, 5'9", 5'8", 5'9" on a good day. Y'all want to fight me so badly. Y'all want to fight me so badly, and you know what? That's fine. Just take turns. Take turns. I took martial arts. I know how to leverage a body. I know how to hit pressure points. I know what to do. And I know for a fact that I hit you in one place and you're going to go down. And then it's me all day. I'm just saying, don't threaten people, especially people you don't know. But yeah, just incredible is just awful. So if you didn't make a mental note of that, go ahead. Go ahead and note that. All right, here we go. Here's more receipts from Chad. the man of the hour. Sorry, CHUD. And here is that post again. How do you think ICE is doing in Minnesota? Pretty and good. And here's what Chad posted. Sad irony, and it's the stay home club thing. So the sad irony is that if Alex Pretty had stayed home and not voiced his opinion, not made his voice known, he wouldn't be dead. Which is true, but in this country, you should not be killed because you're protesting. You should not be killed because you were out in the street with a legal firearm that you did not brandish in any way. In an open carry state, it wasn't concealed. You can see them removing the gun from the holster on his side and then unloading on the man. Dude, I said sad irony, but you do you, dude. The hypocrisy is insane, and the fake was used as a pawn by people spinning everyone up. Don't make shit up to justify whatever way you're feeling. The hypocrisy is insane, Chad. The hypocrisy. Weren't you upset when I pointed out that Charlie Kirk was a valid supporter? Not valid, was a rabid supporter of the Second Amendment, and he said, if a few innocent people die to preserve the Second Amendment, I'm okay with that. He stood on his words. I'll give him the credit, I can't say he didn't stand on his words. But if you're preaching gun violence and racism and all this shit, his last words were the gang violence, and then proceeded to not be around anymore, not because of gang violence. And this is a whole wormhole of what actually happened. Should he be not alive? No. Do I feel bad about it? Also, no. Because when you use your platform, especially one that as big as Turning Point USA, the biggest hate group other than the KKK in this country is Turning Point USA. When Charlie Kirk was 18, the guy that, okay, and this is the funniest shit, right? So their two biggest platforms were anti-vax, anti-COVID vaccine and all that stuff, and Second Amendment. The guy that paid Charlie Kirk, that set him up and put him in this role, died from COVID, right? And then what happened to Charlie Kirk? Gun violence. Well, gun violence, conspiracy aside. So where's the hypocrisy, Chad? Where is it? Because I'm not seeing it other than in your face. Other than coming from your fucking little thin-lipped mouth. Maybe think about some filler or something, but I don't know. Oh yeah, Carson. Okay, so it was Carson that posted, and this is a more sweeping comments and posts from that earlier thing, more context. And so he messaged Carson because Carson posted this on his personal page, calling out Chad, and that's what all these people are doing. Larry Hama, all these other people, they're calling Chad out, right? What the fuck, Carson? Sorry, let me do my chat. What the fuck, Carson? What the fuck indeed, Chad? You like this post and then dogpile with more hateful memes for the slain? Trash, bro. Which slain and what memes? The dude's own stay-at-home shit? Bro, you do you, but drag, and just keeps going. And this is about me. So this is about me. This was a couple days after the Charlie Kirk, the Kirketing, as I like to call it. In Robert's Infinite Realms, this guy is a slug. I know there's at least 4 people that follow me just to send my shit to Chad because I see what posts get sent to people. So, Robert's gone. I blocked his ass, but I will find out who those 4 fucking people are. And I will message them directly and say, you can send whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. Because I am proud of my stances. I am proud of my visibility, and I am proud of my fucking morals. And you will never make me feel bad for who I am or how I feel and what I think is right and wrong. Oh, he's live right now referring to me, crying about injustice. Yeah, I think he took a shot at you, dude. Oh, you think me saying the guy who constantly uses super chats of people in drag and calls it nightmare fuel is a little fucking obsessed with gender identity and queerness as a whole? You think it was a shot at him, Robert? You slow little fuck? I don't know. Maybe it was someone else. Maybe it was for someone else. I don't know. Okay, and this is the funniest shit, right? This was right after. Yeah, I'm done with Rowdy in any way, shape, or form. Waiting on that tool Dan Larson to say some shit too. You're done with me in any form, bro. We were never friends. We were never tight. I was never in there being the go Chad, and you were never the same for me. Because the second this happened, you and I have all these posts. I'd have to go through and find all of them, but you were like, I was just waiting for this to something happen. I knew Rowdy would say shit about, oh, you knew the trans woman who is in a targeted minority, 1% of the fucking population who is absolutely getting blamed for every problem in this country would say something you didn't agree with. Go fucking figure, you fascists. To think I supported Rowdy, but that is 100. Who the fuck are you even, Jay Creations New York? I don't even know who you are. I don't need your support. I never needed anyone's support other than those who appreciate where I'm coming from. If you were just there because I jump into people's live streams and say hey and tell people like and support other people who I think are good, or without full knowledge of who they are and I think or I give them the benefit of the doubt, I don't know what to tell you. That's just who I am. I'm always in live streams of people who I think are cool, saying hey, what's up, like this video, all that kind of stuff, you know? I have no problem supporting good people, but I do have a problem with people like Chad using my support to attack other people. I had friends messaging me saying, hey, is it true that Chad was calling people out on his stream for just liking your post? And you know what? I didn't know until I did my research because I didn't watch his post. I was too busy having a good time on my own stream for 7.5 hours, enjoying myself, having a great fucking time. And then next thing you know, there's more of this bullshit. Oh, here's another racist thing that Chad posted. This is on his Facebook group. Facts, Muslims when they move to a new country. And it was some racist video, just something. And sure, this hurt some feelings. Too bad it's true. Okay, so you're transphobic, you're racist, you're a fascist supporter, and you're just plain ugly. So you got a lot against you, Chad. Larry Hama hates you. Kirk Butzinger hates you. Bud hates you. All these G.I. Joe creators can't fucking stand you. And I know that hurts. I know your shriveled little heart in there is hurting from that. Because that's what you feel like is your legacy, right? G.I. Joe. But guess what? G.I. Joe is not your legacy. You bought some fucking toys, Chad. That doesn't mean you are the end all be all of G.I. Joe fandom. It doesn't mean you represent G.I. Joe fandom as a whole. You represent only your fucking self. And I know that all these talking points that you get, you are fed by other people like It's a Gundam, like Fox News, like Joe Rogan. None of these opinions that you formed are your own because you're a fucking follower, Chad. You're a fucking follower. I watched your sub count go down from 12K to 11.9. People are seeing your bullshit, dude. And I guarantee you, if you continue on this fucking path, you will lose more and more subscribers. You will lose more and more support. Hey, listen. I don't know, but I do know a couple people that reached out to me personally and said, hey, is he really saying this shit? And they're fucking pissed. Because they had nothing to do with this shit, no interactions with Chad, no calling him out, no saying shit about any of this shit. Because, as is their right, they wanted to stay out of it, show their support where they can, but it's not everyone's fucking fight. It's not. And I've had people telling me that calling out the racism is not the fight. But listen, I'm a minority. I'm white, so I have the white privilege. I'm better off than other trans people, like Black trans women especially. Have it fucking hard. But I still have white privilege. I'm a minority, but I have white privilege. So I will use my platform, my little safety net, to say what I need to fucking say. And anyone else who wants to go off on him, I beg you don't. Because it's just going to lead to grief and heartache. But, you know, I can't stop anybody. If y'all want to compile your own list, your own receipts and all that shit, that is completely up to you. And I noticed that a bunch of these people that I called out before on other people, and you know, we're not going to talk about that because I feel like they understood and they've been disassociating themselves from these people. But Talker Art, Elite Legends, Chad. Have they been on anyone else's streams or anything in the last 4 or 5 months or so? No. You want to know why? Because people don't want those opinions to speak for them. Now, when you platform somebody and you don't go against what the fuck they're saying, whether it's awful or racist or bigoted or whatever, you're showing support by being silent. So really the least you can do if you're not going to say shit is never have them back on your show, which is a little thing. It's not a big thing, but at least it's something. And I guarantee you that's the thing that Chad worries about the most. I don't give a fuck about losing subscribers. Do you know how many times I've seen my shit go up 5, go down 5, go up 4, go down 4, go up 25, go down 10? I don't care because I'm here having fun, putting my opinions out there, letting people know where I come from, who I am, what I represent, and what I like. That's what my channel is about. It's about me. Chad's channel is about all the other people he doesn't like. And it's about how, oh, I made a video about how the hiss isn't a tank. I'm so important to the G.I. Joe lore. Bro, you're not shit. You're just another drop in the fucking pool. That's all you are. Your legacy is nothing. It's not. And I'm not saying that I have some kind of legacy or I will, but at least I'm out here standing up for other people, not attacking other people, other than fascists and maggots. And they deserve that shit. But we got more receipts here. We got more. Don't you worry. Don't you fucking worry. I wish I could zoom this in. So this guy, B&B Toys, and at least he gendered me correctly. Bro, I called her out and she messaged me for some BS asking why I dislike trans people. So I blocked, and then he switched to him and left it at that. And what B&B Toys said, he commented on some random post about a trans person. Actually, it was the same one that Elite Legends commented on about, where he said that, you know, CM Punk marching to stand up for trans kids' rights is a guy who doesn't have kids standing up for the mutilation of children. Tell me you don't understand basic biology or your talking points are all fed to you from Fox News without saying it, because that's exactly where you get that kind of shit. So B&B Toys, he's a little bitch. I blocked him a long time ago, but I genuinely, I was like, hey, look, and I outed myself to him. I was like, I'm a trans woman. Why are you saying this thing about trans people as a whole when statistically there is nothing to back you up based on what you're saying? You know, what are the majority of people going into women's spaces or children's spaces and harming them? Republican politicians and religious leaders, all men. Those are the people you should be looking at. And then Chad says, but I'm a victim. And then Robert, because he's a little chime off and, oh, let me jump on the bandwagon. Yeah, sounds about right. And then Talker Art. Here's the thing. So this guy threatened me, right? Talker Art physically threatened me. I won't hit a woman, but I'm going to slap the shit out of this dude. I would love to see you try, you fucking twink. I would fucking love to see you try. You had the opportunity at TwitTuber Expo, but you didn't know I was trans then, right? Because I hadn't made my video or whatever. You hadn't watched it. You didn't know who I was. But y'all were fine with my existence when you didn't know that I fucking hated fascists, right? Right? So that's the whole other point. It's like, oh, we're fine with it because you're one of the good ones until you're not. And that applies to everybody. That applies to trans people, black people, gay people, brown people, anyone who they tolerate. The second they step out of line, it's, oh, you're just like the rest of them. You're not one of the good ones. There's some psychology for you. Because that man wanted to talk about psychology. Like his only experience with that isn't the therapy that he probably needed for his little gender dysphoria that he has going on. Because my God, why are you so obsessed with trans people? Why are you so fucking obsessed, bro? And then Talker Art once again said, looking forward to meeting that guy someday. You already met me, bitch. You didn't do shit, you fucking 130-pound twig. But I guarantee, sure, run up to me at a con, see what happens. See what fucking happens, dude. But you're not posting in 6 months. Elite Legends not posting in forever. Y'all fucking fell off the face of the earth. I wonder why. Because you got called out for your racism, your fucking KFC Club display, talker art, talker shart, fucking piece of shit. And then there was a post that was cut off. I wish I had it. Because Duarte Studios threatened. He said, I would hit that guy in the balls. Dude, you're like 5'2". You're like 5'2", my guy. That's all I'll leave that at. I ain't afraid of you. Looking like a fucking billy goat. And then here's Same Time Toys, Shane. There's a reason I don't fuck with him anymore. What does that have to do with Elite Legend? Rowdy made this comment. He didn't make it up. It's not fake news. This is about Rowdy, not Elite Legends. Shane, screen capped my shit and posted it. Oh, I'm not associated with this any. Bitch, I'm not associated with you either. Woody's a great guy. You, however, Shane, you're a hypocritical little bitch. And I don't fucking like you. There's a reason you're blocked and you can't see my shit. Elite Legends. I'm such a pussy. Rowdy wishes he had me. Really, dude? You look like the inbred offspring of Tweedledum and Tweedledee. I don't think anybody wants you. I'm surprised you have kids. Because I wouldn't want you near your kids based on your political views. And here's Ken's Toys calling out Max for calling out their bigotry. I thought you were a good person. I'm glad to know the truth now. Ken, you're a piece of shit. Ken the band, your whole pivot after you feel like you're some kind of bad boy. You're not. Oh, and there's Duarte's comment. It's cut off. It's cut off, but he said he was gonna hit me in the balls. So take that as you will. Duarte, Talker Art, Elite Legends, Chad, they're all the same ilk. They're all the fucking same. Just because you have a little platform, just because you have your little bubble of popularity, doesn't mean it can't all come crashing down. Just saying. Physically threaten people. Oh, Rowdy was taking vague shots at a lot of intolerant people. Absolutely, I was. But that's what happens when you don't name names and you deflect your own disgusting behaviors. My disgusting behaviors, Chad? Fuck Charlie Kirk. Oh, and I saw your little 7-hour live stream whining about Chuck Norris or honoring Chuck Norris. Listen, dude. Chuck Norris was one of the main proponents of the Obama was not born here thing. So he's a racist. Chuck Norris was trying to get gay marriage banned in California back in 2000 something. So he's a homophobe. Chuck Norris is a full-on MAGA supporter. So he signs off on ICE and all that shit. So when I say there's certain people that don't reserve respect, there's certain people that don't reserve honor when they pass away. That applies to Chuck Norris. That applies to Hulk Hogan. That applies to Charlie Kirk. That applies to anyone who falls under this banner of hatred. Gotta run the kiddos around, but fuck these guys hard. I re-up my membership to show support for you. Hey, I appreciate you. Fight your good. I appreciate your good fight. I'm a 50-year-old dude and can't stand the prejudice, bigot bullshit. You know what, Joe Prime? I got you. I got you. Action Nova, good to see you. Have a cup of coffee. Relax. Well, try to relax. But you know, intolerant people. Yeah, but I'm gonna call out fucking intolerant people. Of course I fucking am. I'm a trans woman. I'm 1% of the fucking population in the US. 1%. I think it was a shot, but like you said, it's so vague, it's hard to say. That's because you're a fucking idiot, Robert. And there's a reason it took you so long to get to 1K. It's because you have no opinions of your own and your videos are fucking boring. I'm going scorched earth, y'all. I'm sorry. You know, I'm taking it a little personal here, but you know, it is personal. When you come after someone for their gender identity, rather than things you say, and you can, like, don't get me wrong, you can criticize what I say or my political views all day long, and I will not have a single thing to say about it. But the second that you start targeting who I am, my identity, my personhood, essentially, guarantee I'm going to take fucking qualms with it. Now I'm going to be a triggered little snowflake and fucking cry about it? No, because being a snowflake is y'all's thing. That's y'all's thing. Do you know where that fucking word came from? It originated during the abolitionist times, and abolitionists would call slave owners snowflakes. because they're little white, little easily melted little bitches who the second you say something they don't like will start crying. So snowflake is not meant for leftists. It's not meant for liberals. It is meant for people like you, Chad. A fucking snowflake. Very unique individual snowflake. I legit stopped watching Robert before any of this because that dude's video is just slow and boring. It's like listening to a speak and spell. Listen, Spaded One, when you write, you're right. Speak and spell. Yeah, I try to show support for people, but the second that shit happened, I was like, nope. And here we go with that Lone Wolf Toys guy, that Bob Vance. This is the original post. And this guy has done some stuff. He's worked for some companies. 3D sculptor, action figure designer. Dude looks like a fucking Billy Goat on meth, by the way, as well. FAFO on full display for the idiots in black. Please sit down and shut the fuck up. No, you sit down and shut the fuck up. Because everything you're saying is fucking racist garbage. And the dog whistles. The shit that Chad was saying to Tats and Toys, like, oh, why you gotta be the blackest person in the room? And I'm glad that Tats and Toys did that video on his Instagram, schooling Chad on the reason why Puerto Rican people are black, Hispanic, and all of the above. And it's because of colonizing white pieces of shit like Chad. I'm not saying he's a colonizer, has done that stuff, but I'm sure he's in support of it. I'm sure he would have been just fine with it. Oh, what else do we have? We got more. I know we have more receipts. Actually, I think we're out of receipts for now. But I will say, you want to talk about hypocrisy and people being intolerant. You are fully intolerant of anyone having a different opinion from you. Anyone liking those posts that I brought up, those receipts. Chad took that onto his live stream and started naming people's names, saying, fuck this person, so-and-so, blah, 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 based on what I've been told from other people. Just full on grouping people together just because he doesn't like their opinion and shitting on them completely. I can tolerate a difference of opinion. What I cannot tolerate is bigotry and fascism and hatred on minorities. There is one group that deserves that kind of fucking targeting and hatred, and it is fucking maggots. It is these fucking alt-right, not specifically conservative people, but these people who wholeheartedly support ICE, wholeheartedly support the erasure of the Constitution, the erasure of human rights of anyone who does not look like they do. I caught some of that Chad stream off and on. I have no clue how someone just rambled like that about nothing for so long. It was hours of nonstop whining. Like, we went live. I specifically went live, and I'll probably do this from now on. I'll probably do a Sunday open mic, same exact time that he's doing it, just to spite his ass. Whatever. Not that it matters. My numbers are nowhere near that, but that's not the point. The numbers aren't the point. What matters is what you're fucking saying. And this guy is consistently living in a triggered life. He is living in a state of reality where everything is a targeted attack towards him when it has nothing to do with it. But he's going to make it his problem, and he's going to whine about it because he's a snowflake. And the fact that he is so fucking obsessed with trans people, queer people, people in drag, speaks to everything about where he's coming from. Because what just happened with Christy Noem's fucking husband? What is his name? Byron or whatever? He's got a bimbification fetish. It speaks to the whole problem. CPAC, Grindr went down again. Turning Point, Charlie Kirk Memorial, Grindr went down. These people hate themselves so much, or hate the things that they feel so much, that they will attack other people. And I'm not trying to say, oh, Chad's attractive. I'm not playing that kind of game. What I'm saying is there is something fundamentally inside of these people, Chad, all these people that have the same mindset, that leads them to hate a part of themselves. And I'm gonna let me preface the psychology of this, because that guy was talking about psychology when he's a fucking dumb as a bag of rocks. Great, now the whole world knows about the wonders of bimbification. I know, right? It's terrible. Just terrible. I will make a statement here. If a cis straight man is attracted to a transgender woman, that does not make you gay. What you are attracted to is the femininity that you are seeing. You don't see someone's genitalia when you're looking directly at them, right? If you are attracted to a trans woman, you are attracted to the femininity. Just like if a person's attracted to a trans man, they are attracted to the masculinity. And then you get into the specifics of genitalia and you can have your preferences and all that stuff. But the fact that you think it makes you gay to be attracted to a trans woman or have some kinds of feelings or like an offhand thought means that you are going to attack trans people because of how you feel, that is a fucking you problem. It is a you problem. When all of your super chat clips are people in drag and you make it a joke and say nightmare fuel, you went out of your way to expose yourself to that. Not only that, you do it every fucking day. Whether you think it's for a joke, it's because you feel some kind of way. And you can say, oh no, it's just funny. It's just funny to me. No, it's not. It is something inside of you that leads you to be obsessed, whether it is actually hatred, whether it's self-hatred, whether it's attraction, whether it's fucking jealousy. There's a psychological aspect to the way that you treat other people. So the ball is in your fucking court. And I'm hoping this is the fucking end of it. I really do. I want this shit to be done. But when you're going around talking shit about my fucking friends, and I thought this shit was done, and then I have people coming to me, hey, this is happening. Motherfucker, I'm not being vague. I'm not calling shots. And I know you invited Tats and Toys on there and got absolutely whooped. Where was my invite, Chad? You want to talk so much shit about me, but you're not going to give me a chance to defend myself on your platform. And you want to know why, Chad? Because you know I'm smarter than you. You know I have actual fucking arguments. You know I have actual counterpoints to every single hate-fueled fucking buzzword fucking complaint that you have. Because nothing that you fucking said is valid. The hypocrisy that you've exposed makes every argument you had biased. It makes it worthless. The fact that you can't sit there, respect my gender, and criticize me. If you could have just fucking not misgendered me, not rally people to physically threaten me and start misgendering me and all this shit, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I wouldn't give a fuck what you say. You can unfollow me and move on. And that's the biggest thing. When someone says something I don't fucking like, I unfollow them. I remove myself. That's former friends, former associates, whatever. There are people who I would go on their stream every fucking day, every fucking week, who I don't associate with more in any capacity, simply because of their silence. Because silence is complicity and complacency. That's what that is. But I'm not going to go dragging them and talking shit about them and calling them out because I don't agree with them. I'm just going to fucking move on because you want to know what? I'm a fucking fully grown adult. I'm not going to pick fights where fights don't need to be made. But I feel like this is fucking important. I feel like the whole aspect of why this was happening is important. It's not about the words that someone says to you, Chad. It's about who they fucking are. It's about your excuse to go off on somebody for who they are. If I was black, you would probably be saying racist shit because I said that stuff. But at the same time, there are cis-presenting women in this hemisphere, in that circle, who I am friends with, who have the same exact views that I do, who say the same exact shit that I do. No criticism. And I'm not saying that she deserves criticism. What I'm saying is, because she's a cis woman, you're not going to target her. Or a cis passing woman, you're not going to target her. That's the whole thing. You're attacking me because I'm trans, because you were waiting for a moment to discredit me because of my identity. And that is fucked beyond all compare. You are a sad fucking little man. And you know what? I wanted to be done with this shit. I really did. But if I have to dedicate all my time to calling you fuckers out, you maggots, you fucking fascists, you fucking Nazis, I'll do it. I don't care. I got time. That's what my Instagram is for. You can take my shit posts and get all offended by them. That speaks more to you than to me. I don't give a shit. The only thing I care about is standing up for what's right. Oh, Lord. I hate how much of my mind is preoccupied with this shit. Like, it was over and done with. I took a break. I took a break for about a month and a half. I was done. I was like, I'm gonna come back to YouTube. Everything's gonna be chill. Everything's been good. Everyone's got their shit out. Everyone's gonna leave it alone. But nope, here's Chad stewing in the corner, hate jerking it, you know? Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to show everybody. Oh, look at your subscriber count dropping. Look at Larry Hama saying you're a bitch. How does that feel, Chad? How does that feel? Does it make you sad? Does it make you cry? Let's be honest. You probably cry to yourself every night alone in bed. You're just like, oh, I'm empty after playing Helldivers 2. It didn't do anything for me. Whining for 6.5 hours about trans people didn't do anything for me. I'm still sad. I'm still broken. And you will be. And I'm not saying people can't change, but I don't believe that everybody is capable of change. I don't believe that everybody is capable of introspection and self-reflection and even free thought. I don't think that everyone is capable of that. You know, I respect our servicemen and women in the military. I respect what you do for the country. But what you do afterwards is kind of more important than what you're doing then. Because you know what the US is doing right now, right? We're in an unprovoked war. Iraq, Afghanistan, same thing, unprovoked war over oil. So yes, you're representing our country, but you're representing the ideals of capitalism. So when you come back and you've experienced that, you've seen the truth of it, you've seen the death, the pain, all of these things happening because of our country, because of how we want to exert our power. When you come back and you're still fucking shilling for that ideal, that kind of idea, I don't respect your service. I don't. There are so many veterans speaking out for the crazy shit that's happening right now. So many putting their benefits on the line to speak out and say, this is fucking wrong. I respect them. Thank you for your service. That's who I respect. And I respect the military as a whole, as far as doing service. I do not respect the ideals of this country during this current administration. And that's not to say every fucking president isn't a war criminal either, because they are. It's all imperialism. It's all colonialism. It's all expansion. It's all for fucking oil. Look at the views of his gaming content for the last 2 months. Averages 200, 300 stream. You know what? And if that's what all he was doing, more power to him. If all he was doing was sitting there, but you're right. It doesn't get him views. The hatred, the targeting, and it's all. Weird question. I've encountered trans folk who, dare I say, listen, there's gatekeepers in every community. And to belittle anyone's gender journey, whether or not they're actually a trans person, whether or not they're experimenting with gender, whether or not they're gender fluid, non-binary, to gatekeep someone else's experience is wrong in any capacity. Are there people who aren't trans and they regret what they did and they detransition? Yes, but you know what the percentage is? 0.03 actually. Out of a 1% of the population, 0.03 of that percentage regret and detransition. Do you broach with someone without being insensitive to that person? You can say what I said. You know, why are you trying to invalidate someone else's journey? We are all a work in progress. We all started as a different person than who we are today. When I was growing up, I was raised Catholic. My family was Catholic, hardcore, mass every Sunday, mass 3 days a week, sometimes 5, depending on what was happening. I was not raised to hate people, however. I was raised to use my religion to discern what is right and wrong. And you can't use religion as a gauge for that, because religion excludes human experience, and everyone's human experience is different. Everyone's journey is different. So all you can say is, look, Your hatred or your discredit is coming from somewhere inside of yourself. Maybe ask yourself why you are questioning these things or why you're saying these things, and then come back to the question itself. Yeah, I'm gonna keep Chad during the same 8-hour stream. Listen, if anyone was a member and watched his members only video that had a reference picture of me as the profile, that's why I use this as my thumbnail, just to like, oh, I can do that too, bud. But if you were in there and you feel like discerning what was said or what was posted in there, feel free. Because like I said, I see about 4 or 5 people sharing my selfies from Instagram, and I know it's not because they're like, oh, look at it's because you're sending it trying to be gotcha. Listen, bitch, I'm fucking cute. I feel cute all the time. If I'm feeling cute, I'm gonna post a selfie about it. So for you to try to use that as fuel against me, what? No. Can you do anything if they're using an image of you? No, and I don't really care about that. It's more so I just want to know the kind of heinous shit he said so I can call him out for that shit too. Because the members only stream is deleted. It's gone. It was before his one that's up now, which is we've been invaded by narcissists. My dude, the only narcissist is you and your little circle of yes men. That's it. I'm a straight dude. None of this stuff affects me at all. What the hell are these dudes so worked up about? I don't fucking understand. Like I said, it's a problem within themselves, whether it be jealousy, attraction, or legitimate hatred for things they don't understand. And I'm not asking people to understand a trans experience. I'm not saying anyone who is not trans can understand a trans experience, because you can't. I don't know what it's like to be cisgender. I don't know what that life experience is like, because I never felt comfortable as myself until after I transitioned. So I don't know what someone else's experience is. I know what mine is. And that's the thing. I can accept that someone's is different than mine and not let it bother me. The hypocrisy is the most annoying thing to me. They want you to let blokes die in peace, but can't let others live in peace. Really, that's the sentiment, really. And it's like, I don't want anyone to die. I don't wish death on anyone, but I'm not going to mourn. Well, there's one guy I wish would drop fucking dead, but I'm not going to mourn people that are in the public eye, that have money, that have influence, that use that platform to spread hatred and bigotry, because this has been a tale as old as time. And on the other end of that shit. All right. So why are we at war right now? We're at war for Israel. We're at war for oil in Israel. Saying that you do not support Israel is not saying that you don't support Jewish people. They're two different statements. And that's where I'm going to leave that. It's two different statements, two different things. Just like attacking trans people's existence and making fun of Charlie Kirk for his views and getting self-owned by those views are two different fucking things. Two very different fucking things. And the fact that they want to call hypocrisy, they want to say, oh, well, I can't believe they're saying intolerance. Motherfucker, okay. So y'all want to talk the tolerancy paradox, right? Tolerance is not a one-way street. It is not a full-on, I accept and tolerate everybody. When you are intolerant of others, as in minorities, people of color, gay people, black people, whatever you want to use to further that argument, we are not going to tolerate you. The tolerant left is not a thing. That was a made-up buzzword by centrist liberals. We're the tolerant left. No, you're sitting in the middle. If you identify as a liberal, if you identify as a Democrat with the Democratic Party, you're like, yeah, let's go Democrats. You are centrist, and I'm not saying you're bad for that, but you are in the middle. Center right. Left is someone like Bernie. And I would say AOC, but she signed away money for Israel. So I can't say AOC, but at least Bernie Sanders is out there speaking against it, you know? Oh, you know what I'm gonna be doing. You know what I'm gonna be doing. We'll see how they act then. So Yeah, exactly, Ronnie. And that goes for anyone. That goes for anyone. If you want to be a hateful piece of shit, feel free. But don't act like if you do that shit online and target other people, there's people are just gonna be like, oh yeah, sure, go off. Go off. Hey, Dan. How are you? The LGBTQ plus community are the most comfortable with themselves and they're most authentic. And I feel like that's a part of it as well, is not speaking for everyone, because people who support and love and accept other people obviously know who they are and know what's inside is what matters. But the people that are attacking queer people, gay people, trans people, they are not comfortable with themselves, whether it be their sexuality, their place in life, how they're viewed. They're not comfortable with themselves. And you could never be as comfortable as someone who has lived their life as one thing for half of it and realized that it was taking away from who they were. It was not being true to themselves. Explored that and came out of the other side a happier, more complete person. That's what you're hating on. And these hateful people hate themselves. They hate authenticity. 100%. 100%. And to think that you attacking my looks or my gender identity is going to upset me, bitch, I'm secure. I am confident. Do we all have our days where we're feeling a little down on ourselves? Absolutely. But the steps that I took to be myself, I would never, ever undo. And I would never question anyone else. Like, for instance, if Chad wanted to get a little hair transplant to fix his little bald head problem, I wouldn't make fun of him for that. Well, I'm making fun of him now because, you know, he's attacked me physically, my identity, all that stuff. So, you know, it's fair game with that guy. But like, you know, if you want to better yourself, and I'll say this, they want to talk about gender affirming care. Okay. So what is all this Mar-a-Lago ladies? What is all the fillers and the botched plastic surgeries that they're getting? That is gender affirming care. If you get a hair transplant, that is gender affirming care. If you get liposuction, that is gender affirming care. If you're getting surgeries to make yourself feel better about yourself in your gender, in your masculinity, in your womanhood, that is gender affirming care. Why is it different for a trans person than it is for a cis person? I don't know. I don't think there is a difference. I really don't think there is. The difference is how someone views a person. That is the only thing. Sucks. I got an overnight the next 2 nights. I picked up a shift tonight because they've been sending me home early. So I'm gonna stay on for a while. I got a lot to say, you know, and I'm glad there's good people in here. I'm glad y'all understand. What a sad human, honestly. Can you imagine planting your flag in a community, acting like you represent that, like you're the end all be all of that shit, and then one of the biggest voices that's a creator of that tells you to fucking kick rocks? I can only imagine what that feels like. I can only imagine, say for instance, like Stan Lee walking up to me and being like, "You love Spider-Man? Well, Spider-Man doesn't like trannies." You know, like, I would be fucking devastated, right? Larry Hama saying he doesn't want anything to do with it. And the funniest shit is that Chad said it was a loss for Larry Hama that he couldn't interview him because Larry Hama didn't want anything. It's a loss for Larry Hama that he's not going to be honored with the presence of Chad and his questions, right? The honor is all his. I actually overslept today. I've been up since 3:17 a.m. I was supposed to be up at like 2:50 to drive to work, but my alarm was not going off. So I've been up since 3:17. So like 5 hours, 6 hours or so. But I can't imagine what that feels like. Do I sympathize with him? No. Do I feel bad for him? No. Because you would think something like that would be a wake-up call. Larry Hama, the G.I. Joe guy, the guy that had the Saw Viper, you know, finally take out Joes and all this stuff, and it was a big day. And the guy that wrote people of color, people of different nationalities, people of different creeds into G.I. Joe, into the comic books, made them mainstays, made them household names. You think that guy is cool with what's happening right now? I'm not going to speak for him, but based on what he said to you, Chad, or what was told to you, he doesn't fucking like you. And I don't like you either. I'll be careful. You'll be dead. Star Wars reference. Sorry. Couldn't help it. Larry's lost, right? It's Larry Hama's loss. He's going to lose sleep over it, I'm sure. I just got up and haven't had coffee, and you are so awake. What can I say? I'm a bad bitch. What can I say? Dos vidonias. See, there's the fucking Russian I was looking for the other day. Dos vidonia. Comrade. But it's cool. I like hanging out. Yo, I'm gonna bring this back up. I miss my pink hair, y'all. How cute that was. I need to find like a permanent pink hair dye. That's what I need. So manly looking, by the way, right? Right? Like y'all could there's a reason that people didn't know that didn't know I was trans until I made the video about it, right? Right? But I'm sure you knew ahead of time, Chad. Right? You totally clocked it. You totally flagged me. You totally knew. No, I outed myself, and that's how y'all knew. And the only reason I outed myself and made that video about 9 months ago, coincidentally, like a month before Charlie Kirk, before all that shit happened. The only reason I made that shit was because I saw people's chats with the comments about transvestite, and these guys say transvestite. They don't know the difference between a transvestite, a trans person, an intersex person. They couldn't tell the difference if it was sitting in the face. But that's their favorite word is transvestite, talking about that shit and talking about men dressed as women and all this stuff. And it was upsetting to me because I was genuinely in these chats having a good time. And then 1 or 2 comments ruined the whole thing. So I said, look, I'm known enough that if I say something about this, maybe it'll start to change. Maybe people will second guess when they're going to say that shit. And you know what? It didn't change anything. People just knew I was trans. So I decided to remove myself from those chats, from those areas. I had not hung out in a 3POA podcast since, I want to say, like 2 or 3 weeks before they did the Firefly HasLab giveaway, specifically because I kept seeing that kind of shit. And it was just, there's moderators, right? But we can't control the chat. We can't control what they say. No politics. And I'm not trying to call out 3PO again. I've already made it known what they did and what was wrong. And it seems like maybe they got the message and are distancing themselves from those people. But that's what started me seeing the bigger picture of how people act under the guise of, oh, I'm just joking, Yeah, people in that space aren't going to change. No, and they're not. And that's fine. That's why I left. That's why I left. And it was, the worst part is last year I went to Toy Tuber Expo, Ninjas Con. And that was a lot of fun. It's great. I met a lot of people. And some of these people I met in person or saw me, whether or not we talked or shook hands or whatever, they were there. We interacted. And they were not, horrible, racist, whatever. They weren't saying, I'm not saying they aren't. But in that aspect, that was a lovely experience. All parties involved. 2 weeks later, half of those people are coming at my throat because of what I posted. And that's fucking fine. I don't care about that. Distance yourself. Unfollow me. But the attacks on my identity are not okay. And I'm not going to tolerate that shit. Nor should anyone tolerate that shit. It's if I said something like that and I was black and they start dropping the N-bomb, it's the same exact fucking thing. Same exact thing. There is no difference when you use someone's words to justify attacking things they can't change about themselves. Go after the words. You use your actual brain instead of the fucking monkey brain, R2. Yeah, so it's I would say it's frustrating, but I'm so used to it. 2016, that is when I transitioned. That is when I started. That is when and this is the thing that a lot of people don't understand about when someone gets to that point. I was 25 years old, from 12 to 25, I was struggling with who I was. I never fit in. I always all my friends, I was like the quiet follower. I would do what they say. I'd tag along. I'd be like, what are we doing today? And it was like sometimes with best friends, it was like we were dating. That was the dynamic. It's like, oh yeah, I'll go along with what you're doing. We're gonna go do this because you're doing, that kind of dynamic. I was not a whole complete person. It got to the point where it was either do something about how I felt or not exist anymore. I would look at my patio and be like, all I need is a fucking rope and all this problem, all these thoughts, all this shit will end. Or I can do the braver thing and take those steps to understand what it is that I need for myself and become that person. And I'm thankful that I did that. All the bullshit in the media aside. When a trans person tells you who they are, you should believe them. Just like when a fucking fascist tells you who they are, you should believe them. It's the same thing. Good to see you. Have a good day at work, etc. I know this is an early stream, but I'm going to try to, other than that Sunday thing, because I do think I'm going to start doing my open mic on Sundays. And in a perfect world, when I come home from work on a short shift day like today, I feel like I should just jump on and stream and talk to y'all. I want to get in the habit of reacclimating myself to streaming and putting myself out there, because that's the hardest part of this, is putting yourself out there, regardless of whether it's now or then. It's still difficult to get on here and talk, especially when there's no one watching and you got to wait and all that stuff. So, I would like to start streaming more, have little random talks that aren't about toy news like this. And I've gotten a little heated. I told you I'd try to stay composed and not be cussing and all that stuff, but y'all know me. I'm an angry little bitch. I can't help it. I'm thankful too, as I met an amazing friend. And you're awesome, Dan. And there's so many awesome people so many people that I talk to on an almost daily basis. And I know I've been a couple weeks, almost a month, I've been pretty touch and go, but that's because I was really struggling with depression and all that stuff. Oh, and here's the other thing that I wanted to address, because, he likes to address transness as a mental illness, right? Being trans is not a mental illness. I have mental illnesses. I have depression. I have ADHD. I'm probably slightly autistic. And I'm not saying even autism is a mental illness. That is just a spectrum of social understanding. And I'm not always the best at reading cues or taking a hint or whatever. And I'm also very, very OCD. So I do have problems with my brain, but who I am is not one of them. You can scan a trans person's brain, and the wavelengths and the sections of the brain are more commonly associated with a cis woman's brain. The same can be said for trans men. You scan their brain in an MRI, the things lighting up will match more with a cis male's brain than a cis female's brain. It's biology. There's a reason why we feel this way. And it's because our brains are wired to feel the discomfort when the disconnect between gender and identity is there. And these guys that are like, oh, you're a failed man. Okay, no. First of all, every man is a failed woman, because you start in the womb. And they want to talk about gender at conception. There is no gender at conception. But when gender does start to develop, everyone starts as female. There's a reason everybody has fucking nipples. It's because at first in utero, estrogen is the primary hormone. Then, depending on which way it goes, testosterone is introduced, beats out the estrogen, and that's where you get men from. And who's to say that in utero, people don't have their brain one way and they get the wrong dose of hormones and they come out, and somewhere down the line, they start questioning their gender. And that doesn't even cover intersex people who are biologically not one gender or the other. They can have XY chromosomes and opposite characteristics simply because biology and genetics do not follow a strict code. They don't follow rules. So psychology, biology, they are not valid arguments for you to try and discredit trans people or call trans people mentally ill. In fact, it leads more to supporting trans people's existence, science, medicine, those support trans people, those back trans people, not bigots. Your biology, your definition of biology and your definition of science and medicine are not reality's definition. So that it's just another argument. Like people were pointing out, like, oh, he's saying mentally ill, he's saying this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, a mentally ill person would say that. And Chad, you are unwell. You are unwell. The amount of anger that you harbor, the amount of hatred that you harbor for quote unquote libtards, and my God, like what a stupid term. You're really sticking it to the libtards now, aren't you? Paying $7 a gallon for gas. Good job, buddy. You did it. Oh, Lord. But we're a toy channel here. You know, we're just here to talk about toys. Not even buy them anymore, really. Like that, what the fuck? How the fuck can anyone afford toys? How can anyone? Rich or poor? Like, goddamn, y'all. Gas is just going up and up and up. Groceries going up and up and up. Energy cost, all that shit. But yeah, let's keep playing our toys and make sure we keep politics out of the space. Because it has nothing to do with it, right? It has nothing to do with why you can't afford toys. I hope yeah, I'm glad that you were able to get your own space, and I hope that's working out well and things are good in that regard. Yeah, it's rough. It is rough, and God, if I wish I had the luxury of living at home or having parents, but you know, here's the thing, and here's the other thing too, like my family. So you think I have a problem distancing myself from some fucking idiot online or talking shit about some idiot online or calling them out? My whole fucking family voted for Trump, except for my brother. So you know who I don't talk to, who I don't interact with, who I have nothing to fucking do with, simply because they voted against my existence? My fucking family. No skin off my fucking back. I mean, does it hurt sometimes? Yes. Do I feel some kind of way sometimes? Yeah. But you know what? I'd rather not deal with it. I'd rather not. That's how much I don't want to see these fucking opinions and these thoughts and all that stuff. But it's out there. It's always out there. And there's always going to be hateful people. There's always going to be people like, yeah, I'm glad I voted for Trump because I'm sticking it to the libtards. Who else are you sticking it to? Children, immigrants, people trying to fill up their gas tank, people that are trying to eat, people that need food assistance, people that need medical assistance. You're trying to stick it to all of them too, right? You're trying to hurt everybody, right? And you wonder why this midterm is going to be a fucking bloodbath. You wonder why Trump is trying to rig these elections and ban mail-in ballots and do the SAVE Act, which means that you have to have a passport with your legal name on it. So married women, you're fucking out of luck if you haven't updated your passport, right? Because they're going to fucking lose. And when they lose, this will be the last time they lose this fucking hard, because it's not going to be the same after this. The party, the Republican Party that once was, is no longer. And I'm not saying it was ever a good party. I'm not saying that voting conservative is ever a good idea, and not even that voting Democrat is a good idea, because they're all owned by AIPAC. They all take money from Israel and all this stuff. But the difference is the social attacks, the attacks on people who can't help themselves, who can't defend themselves. That all comes from one side of this bullshit. You know? So once this is gone, once Trump is gone, once this regime is out, the Republican Party is going to be dead. It's going to be done. You put all your eggs in one basket, and that basket is a loony bin who's cracked. You get what you fucking deserve. You reap what you fucking sow, right? All right. I think that's it. I think I made my point. I don't know. How do y'all feel? Y'all feel good, informed? We feel like we got it all out. You know this shit's not over. I'll just wait. I'll just fucking wait. I'll just keep doing my thing. I'm just gonna keep being me. Keep shit posting on Instagram. Keep calling out the Nazis and the maggots and the fascists. When it's appropriate, when it's needed. Say, for instance, someone has a platform and they're using it to spread hatred, I'm going to call you out. I'm going to do that. I feel like I need to do that. So I'm going to hop off of here. I need to get some sleep. So I appreciate y'all. Keep your head up. Stay brave. Be kind to your local LGBTQ plus community. If you're protesting, be safe. Please be safe. Like, I know the No Kings protests and all that stuff are happening, and I'm glad it's a bunch of white people out there marching for other people, because they know, the real ones know, it is not for the minorities to put themselves in danger. It's for the fucking white people to do. So, you know, but regardless, be safe. Do all that stuff. Did I already say be kind to your local LGBTQ plus community? Whatever. I'll say it twice if I did. I love y'all. I'll see you next time. And bye-bye. What tank top is that? Oh, it's Rosie the Riveter, but alt. Later, y'all.
My safe word will be whiskey.
Sorry, Rod, what was that?
Whiskey.
Your friend's wasted, Anakin.
Check this out!
Pork chop sandwiches.
Freaking pump! I've been drinking green tea all goddamn day!
Oh, man, he hit his ass with a porky toe, man. Nice.
God, I go to church every goddamn Sunday. You gonna bring the demons out of me?
No matter what you do, I will be proud of you, even if you receive a liberal arts degree. Baby time. It's baby time. Wait, I wasn't finished.
All right, give him the stick. Don't give him the stick.
You know my dad?
Oh,
G.I. Joe! What the fuck? No, this is my hat now. This is totally my hat.